finals added 2 new weapons to its sandbox. And if you couldn't tell from my intro, my favorite is definitely the BFR. But that doesn't mean that the P90 is bad, because in the right hands, the P90 is actually super effective. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about each of these new weapons so that you can better understand when it's time to add them to your loadout or when it might be better to leave them on the bench. So let's start with the obvious. These 2 weapons aren't just different, they are polar opposites when it comes to playstyles. The P90 is the kind of weapon that whispers in your ear, "Don't worry, I got you." It's fully automatic, it has a massive mag, and its low recoil means that it's forgiving. It's like training wheels for chaos. Now if you're still getting your bearings in the finals, the P90 welcomes you with open arms. It's easy to pick up and hard to completely screw up. Now the BFR on the other hand, it doesn't whisper, it growls, and it says, you better hit your shot or die trying. This thing is high risk, high reward in the most fun way possible. It's not going to hold your hand, but if you got the aim, or perhaps you got your squad's back, there is no better feeling than dropping players with the BFR. So yeah, the P90 is your reliable wingman, while the BFR gives you the feeling that you can do everything on your own. So let's break down how to use them, starting with the P90. Sure, it's not going to melt people instantly. The damage output is kind of meh, especially when compared to other medium class weapons, but that's not what it's for. The P90 shines when you play it like a nuisance. Think of it as death by 1,000 paper cuts. You're peppering shots across the map, you're interrupting enemy pushes, and just being generally annoying. And the kicker? You don't have to reload. Or at least, you don't have to reload as often. You just keep firing. It messes with people mentally. They peek a corner and they eat 20 bullets for no reason. And guess what? They'll stop peeking. And they'll fall back and they'll hesitate. And in this game, hesitation gets you eliminated. But that's not to say you can't rack up a bunch of kills with the P90 either. Because this weapon really comes alive when cleaning up firefights. So let your teammates lay the first couple of cracks on the enemy, and then you can swoop in, and before you know it, you'll have yourself a good old-fashioned multi-kill. Same mag, no reload. You're the janitor, the battlefield is your hallway, and the P90 is your broom. And when fights get up close and personal, it slaps. The hipfire on the P90 is really good, so just dance around your enemy and spray. Now, if you're going to be using the P90, I recommend pairing it with things like the jump pad, the DMAT, or a zipline, which will allow you to dip in and out of fights to keep the enemy team guessing where they're getting shot from. And now for the BFR. This thing is an absolute menace, and even though it's a revolver, you can pretty much treat it like a sniper rifle. It hits like a truck, it's laser accurate, and it feels like you're deleting people off the server when you land your kill shots. The BFR shines in mid to long range engagements, and if you hit your shots, you can take an enemy player out way before your team ever arrives to the fight, giving y'all a major advantage. And trust me, people do not want the smoke when they get hit by the BFR, or if they even hear the damn thing. It's like the presence alone makes them play worse. And once you've got the rhythm down, you can start racking up the eliminations. And unlike a rifle, the BFR isn't just for holding angles. It's a weapon you use to set the tempo for a fight. And when running the BFR, I like to combo it with the charge and slam for when things get spicy up close. If you miss a shot or two, or maybe need a reload, the charge is your best bet at tilting the odds in your favor. Now another useful gadget to run with the BFR is the lock bolt, which will freeze targets mid-run and then you just delete. It's simple math. Also, and this may be a hot take, when it comes to sights, less is more. So don't put a sight on this thing. The iron sights are clean, and for me, they're just way more intuitive to aim with. So let's wrap this up. The P90 is going to be your support SMG. It's great for suppressive fire and keeping enemies on their toes and scooping up those sweet cleanup kills. So move fast, hit often, and never let them breathe. Now the BFR, that's your precision delete button. You dominate long sight lines and you pick people apart and strike fear into anyone thinking about pushing your cash out. Pair it with mobility or lockdown tools like the lock bolt, and you'll be that player that everyone starts complaining about on Reddit. At the end of the day, neither gun is strictly better. They just fit different moods, different energy. Sometimes you want to be the mosquito, and other times you want to be the railgun cowboy. But hey, what do you think? Have you tried either of the new guns yet? Are you Team BFR or Team P90? Let me know down in the comments and drop a like if this helped you out. And sub if you want more loadout breakdowns just like this one. And until next time, Glitchy out.